First to some controversy brewing in Sierra Leone, a nation which has had no shortage of parliamentary drama over the past 4 years. The latest is over a string of constitutional amendments being piloted by the government. And what's getting some hot under the collar relates to the Public Elections Act. Last week, it led to heightened tensions in the House, with both the ruling SLPP and main opposition ABC party saying their MPs had come under physical attack by rival party supporters. Well, the matter came up again today. We're joined now on the line by our reporter Umaru Fofana to tell us more. So, evening to you, Umaru. What exactly happened in and around Parliament today?
Hi, Bola. Well, there was huge security presence, a very, very heightened presence of the police, riot police on both sides of Parliament, the roads leading into and out of Parliament today. And anybody who had access to Parliament had to be subjected to some search. And that's because the police say they wanted to avoid what happened there last week, when party supporters were alleged to have, attacked physically some members of Parliament. Now, in the well of Parliament itself, the MPs passed certain amendments to the Constitution. Namely, there had been a proposal by government that whoever wanted to stand for Parliament must have resigned their position if they were working for the state 1 year before election day. But then that motion was voted against. The members of Parliament agreed that it should not be whittled down to 6 months. It should in fact remain 1 year. They argue that that's because some workers of the state have already resigned, and it will be unfair for them to, for others to be allowed to resign 6 months to elections. But then the most contentious thing was being discussed when there was a blackout in Parliament. Again, with both parties, the APC and the SLPP, accusing each other of having unplugged the electricity into the well of Parliament. But there was pitch darkness, and then the matter was adjourned for tomorrow.
And, is this a contentious issue just within Parliament, or is it something that's getting the general public quite heated too?
Oh, it is getting general public quite heated as well, because just outside Parliament today, you could see both sets of supporters. I mean, they were kept aside from each other, though, kind of like trying to say that one accusing the other of one thing or the other. It basically has to do with the proposal, which on the order paper of Parliament today, it appeared that was going to come before Parliament for a proportional representation system to replace the first past the post in next year's elections. But then just late this afternoon to early evening, I spoke to the House Majority Leader, who said that was not before him. And I spoke to the opposition, the head of the opposition in Parliament as well, who said that as far as they were concerned, that was indeed before them. And this is why they are arguing as to whether or not it's before them. Lawyers say that the country's constitution allows for proportional representation to run in tandem with first past the post. Therefore, it ought not to have been brought to Parliament for amendment, and that once it had been brought to Parliament, it will require 2/3 majority to be amended alongside other proposals. So I understand that the government at the last minute withdrew that from the bill, but the opposition are arguing that as far as they are concerned, the text of the document that they have includes the proportional representation. Therefore, it would have to have 2/3 of the votes before it can become law. So it's a contention which is going to continue tomorrow when Parliament resumes on this matter.
So PR being the issue, and the elections are slated for next year. Looks like this could be a rocky road.
It does look that way. Elections are slated for June of next year, 11 months or so down the line. And these parties are arguing that if this is not resolved, if this becomes law, it will affect the next elections, and all sort of arguments are being put forward. They will be put forward tomorrow formally, and we may have the time to let people understand what the bones of contentions are. But so far, it seems as if it's going to be a very rocky 11 months to elections in next year.
Umaru, thank you very much indeed. Umaru Fofana in Freetown.